It's November 15th, 2024. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. It's Friday. You know what that means. Wait, what does that mean? We're here every Friday and Wednesday. We're here Mondays too. What does it mean? Jeremy, will help?
It means, why are we doing this show when the final episodes of Cobra Kai came out and I could be watching that right now? Can we just let's not do this show. Let's do a watch along with Cobra Kai and we'll just react in real time, or I will. I don't care what you actually do.
I don't have access to Cobra Kai.
Yeah. I don't care what you do, but I want to watch Cobra Kai. That's what I was doing before this. This show's addictive. Like, it's fantastic. Everyone should be watching Cobra Kai. Had it on this morning. Wife walked in. She just couldn't stop looking at the screen. She was instantly hooked in. I don't think she's ever watched like a second of the show, but the acting is so awful, but the stories are so just amazing. It's pro wrestling. It's a pro wrestling.
Say that's wrestling.
Great. Yeah, it is.
Maybe that's why Britt Baker is doing so well on that show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to write an article about that. See, I'm watching it for work purposes as well, because like once she appears and be like, oh, Britt Baker appears in episode blah 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 of Cobra Kai, so I'll do an article on it, so I can write it off. I mean, no, I write off everything, but like I can write off my viewing habit as work related. I will. Because I don't actually like have leisurely time. You know what I mean?
Oh, believe me, I'm well aware of that statement. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. But hey, that's just what happens. How you doing? We haven't spoken to you since Wednesday. Very famously, we log off and say nothing to each other after the show, and we just say Friday, and that's it. How you doing?
I'm well. It's been a couple of days of nothing. Big hockey game. Let's go tonight. 2022 Stanley Cup champions. Back Val Nichushkin. Back Jonathan Drouin. Back Miles Wood. Back. Let's go. Excited. It's a big weekend. Not for wrestling. Who cares about that? Jake Paul, Mike Tyson tonight. John Jones, Stipe Miocic tomorrow night. Fighting this weekend. Tori against Sam. That's what we're here to talk about. Who cares about wrestling?
I mean, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson is basically a wrestling match anyway.
It's all professional wrestling.
It's all wrestling. Well, I don't know about better, but it's certainly different. It's wrestling, but different.
It's better. They're not like making false promises like wrestling.
Well, don't worry. They'll find a way. It's going to be a competitive fight. Don't you worry, between Paul and Tyson. Yeah, no one's just going to go for the draw. Don't worry. They're not going to have a knockout finish. There's not going to be anything on this.
I don't know. I think someone's getting knocked out tonight.
I don't think so. I think they're just going to play it to a finish, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, I can't believe it went to a decision. Oh my God, Tyson washed." Did you see? You must have seen the Tyson, the interview that's been going around, the viral clip.
Yeah, rolled.
So for those who haven't seen it, there was a young influencer, a young interviewer. World. What's her name?
Jazzy World. So she does actually a lot of like wrestling interviews. I've covered her stuff. She's very fun. She's a teenager. She can't be more like 14, 15 or something. Like she's a teenager and she does wrestling interviews. She just did an interview with a bunch of the women on the roster, like Bianca, Jade, Tiffany, and Rhea. She's talked to Heyman. She's talked to Triple H. She's talked to Jey Uso. Like she's talked to a lot of wrestlers. And she asked questions you would expect like a 14, 15-year-old to ask.
Yeah, but she's well poised. Like she clearly has experience. So for those who haven't seen it, she's interviewing Mike Tyson, and she asks, when all is said and done, what's going to be your legacy? And Tyson goes on like a full 2-minute rant. Not even a rant. It's
not that long. It's only like 30 seconds.
It feels all of 2 minutes though. And he's just talking about legacies and how nothing matters when you die and you turn to dust. And he's like, it doesn't matter if I win or lose. I'm just gonna die anyway someday. And she's just like, please get me out of here.
Oh, it's so sad because again, I'm familiar with her work. So she asked like this question a lot of like the wrestlers. She's like, oh, what do you want your legacy to be? What's like the most fun thing you enjoy about being a wrestler? What's been like, what would you tell, what advice would you give people who want to like follow their dreams? and everything like that. And all the wrestlers are super nice, and they're like, do this and work hard, and they always give like nice little answers. Like they realize they're talking to like a 14-year-old. Paul Heyman's someone who has a little bit of fun with it because they've done a couple interviews together. So Heyman's like, no, this is how you should ask that question, type of thing. Like Heyman, they got a little going on, but you can tell she's very used to having nice interaction, wholesome interactions with everybody. Mike Tyson doesn't care about this at all. He's like, who gives an F about the legacy? Why do I want people to talk about me when I'm dead? Like, why? No, I died. Move on. I'm dust. Who cares?
Yeah, he says, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think it's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just the word everybody grabbed onto. Everybody said that word, and now everyone grabbed not everyone grabbed not the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. Somebody messed up the transcription. It means absolutely nothing to me, he says. And then he says, I'm just passing through. I'm a die, and it's gonna be over. Who cares about legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm a die, and I want people to think that I'm this. What? I'm great? No, we're nothing. We're dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing. Holy shit. I feel bad.
Oh, poor Jazzy. She's like, that was interesting. I've never heard anybody say that. And then he goes again. He's like, yeah, who gives a F about, I'm trying not to curse. He's like, who gives a F about legacies and how we're remembered? I want people to talk about me when I'm dead. No, I'm dead. Move on. Don't talk about me.
And 50 Cent's like, you're scaring the children.
So funny. I feel bad for Jazzy again. She always has like very wholesome interactions with these wrestlers on these interviews that I see. And they throw her in there with Mike Tyson, and she's expecting these wholesome interviews. And Mike Tyson don't care at all about that stuff, dude. Mike Tyson's just gonna go be Mike Tyson.
He got real.
Yeah.
No, like people in the chat are like, no, it's a great answer. And like it is. It's just also reading the room, but also, come on, man. If you're working as a journalist, as a creator, as an interviewer, sometimes you're going to get some weird lob ball answers to your questions.
Especially when you're out here going to Mike Tyson, man. Like, all right, fine. You're going to talk to people from WWE. They're pretty well PR trained and everything, and smiles on faces and all that fun stuff. Mike Tyson don't care about that stuff. He does not care one bit about any of that. Mike Tyson thought Hasbulla was like a little kid. He's like, yeah, why is this kid like trying to mess with me? I'm gonna beat up this child. And then he learned Hasbulla is like this grown man. He's treating him like a kid. Mike Tyson doesn't care at all.
Oh god, I'm picturing the interaction between, like, behind the scenes of Mike Tyson and Hasbulla. Oh my god.
You don't have to look behind the scenes. Just
no, but video. I mean the after of all that stuff. Oh god.
In this video, he thinks this little kid's messing with him, so he keeps screwing around with this kid, and like he thinks this is just a child.
Whose child is this? Pick up this child. Somebody come and pick up the child.
Mike Tyson's hilarious. Doesn't seem like he's got his history, so maybe not the greatest person in the world, but as far as a media person, hilarious.
Just out here talking. Just talking. Can we admit the fight as a work Casino hour? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's going to go to a draw. It'll go to a decision, and that'll be that. And then Jake Paul will again be like, "I'm the greatest," and people will be like, hey, "You're not."
I don't think
in your weight class.
I don't think Mike Tyson like has a chance in this fight. Honestly, like the fact that the odds are so close, I don't know. Might have to throw some money on this thing. I mean, by money, I mean like $3 because I don't bet that big. Yeah. And I hit a nice parlay last night, Joel. Hit a very nice parlay. So
good.
We're up.
Yeah. How about you put them thumbs up?
There you go. Good.
Yeah. There you go. Give me the fireworks. There they are. Wow, they're early today. Good on the fireworks. They showed up early. And while you're at it, leave a thumbs up on the video like we did. And you can subscribe to the channel at fightfuloverbook.com or go to YouTube and just search us. That's where it is. And also you can donate a super chat any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. We got plenty to go through today. No, we don't. Who am I kidding? I don't like to lie to the people, Jeremy. We don't have a lot to talk about.
You're mad at AEW this week. I know that much.
I mean, everyone's mad at everything. It's just the state of the world. You're not letting things play out, Jeremy. So what are we doing here?
I like your thumbnail. I like your picture of Moxley for the thumbnail.
It was kind of, I went between 3 different options, and that was the best one. I had to do the screen grab again because the digitals that AEW released from Wednesday were not something I wanted to use. I kind of hope they'd have the action shot of Darby Allin, jumping off the vomitorium wearing the Sting mask, but they did not have any of that. They just had the basic every other stuff. And the Moxley stuff, like nothing was inspiring me. So I went on and I rewatched the segment and I grabbed that screen grab and I'm like, it's probably as good as it's going to get. And here we are. Jon Moxley, he seized something. I don't know if it was TBS, but it definitely existed. Huh. What do you think of this? What do you think of Moxley seizing TBS? I know you're a big Death Riders guy. You're really big fan of this whole story.
I liked the segment. I don't think there was anything wrong with the segment. My expectations were just higher. That's all. And maybe that's on me. Maybe I should not expect more. But if you're gonna tell me that he's seizing TBS, he's seizing the Superstation, my expectations are at least going to be he's going to do something to screw with the feed or do something related to TBS. This was just a wrestling segment. That's all it was. If they had just told me Jon Moxley will appear, I would have had no issue with this segment. I'm like, all right, cool. Good segment. Overall, good segment. Good promo by Mox. Good promo by Cassidy. The Darby spot was really good. All of them jumping from the balcony and getting swung into the garage and everything with we're going to leave Yuta, but then we didn't leave Yuta because Darby was there and we had to fight him and beat him up. And then Yuta finally got his act together and showed up and we were able to leave. It was a good segment. It was a good wrestling segment. I think they shot themselves in the foot because they wanted to make a cool graphic that said Moxley is going to seize control of TBS. And he didn't. He just came out there at 9:00, didn't even start the show or anything. He just came out there at 9:00 and did a wrestling promo.
He sees the crossover. So this is kind of the issue. It's that the story is good. The promos are good. The way it's being promoted is poor, in my opinion. This is something that we continue to talk about is like, why does it have to be Moxley's coming? Moxley's here. Moxley's doing this. Moxley's doing give me Moxley is going to be arrested by the cops for trying to kill a man. I don't know what you need or why you need to keep promoting stuff like Moxley is blank. Moxley's seizing the Superstation was like, even you and I were just like, none of that makes sense. It's just a promotional tactic, but it's a poor one. And that's been kind of the issue is that this thing has legs and it has a lot of opportunities to be a much more important story, but they're not making the most of it. They're instead they're doing goofy graphics. And if you want to make it serious, like doing Moxley seizes TBS, and like you said, like he didn't go to a TV truck. Like the most seizing they did was Marina seizing the shirt collar of a camera guy and being like, "Get in the ring," and the camera guy was like, "Okay, got to get in the ring anyway to do this promo. Let's go." That was my bigger issue with this. It's that the Moxley stuff is hitting from a delivery perspective, from a opportunity perspective. But the way that it's being promoted is not helping the story at all. You should, the feeling of like Moxley is coming and you should be scared. That's okay. But to promote it makes it feel like you're in on it. Like AEW is in on it when really they should be the ones who don't know when he's coming. They don't know when he's going to be there. You shouldn't be telling me when he's going to be here. You should be just saying he's our champion. He is obligated to be here every X amount of days. So we'll see if he shows up tonight. You have a strong enough roster. And we talked about this too. You have a strong enough roster that if you have a strong card going into a week where Moxley is there, then you can get away with not promoting him and having him show up. I just don't know why we keep doing seizes the TBS Superstation. Like, do you want it to do a nostalgia gimmick, but you didn't? Like, and by nostalgia, I mean the TBS Superstation logo, and people are like, that's so cute. it just felt weird. It was just the way it was promoted was not conducive to how a story like this should be going. That's where I'm at.
This goes back to what I said last week. And it's the story lives in the bubble that it lives in. And I've accepted that at this point. It's not going to be what I was hoping it was going to be. I think they missed an opportunity with what it could have been. It lives in its own bubble. And right now the bubble is with Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy and other members of the conglomeration. And maybe it becomes something more later down the line, but that's where it's at right now. Private Party, they've won the titles. They don't seem to care anymore about this fight. Daniel Garcia, he's now more focused on Jack Perry. He doesn't seem to care anymore about this fight. It's Jon Moxley and the Death Riders against Orange Cassidy, conglomeration, and Darby Allin. It's no different than Hurt Syndicate against Swerve Strickland. It's no different than Will Ospreay against Don Callis family. They are just stables feuding with each other in their own little bubble. And I don't think any of them are bad. I think most of them are good, but we've got to accept it. And like, maybe that's a defeatist in a way of like, oh, I've just accepted this, but I've accepted it. This could have been more. I've said it could have been more. I wanted it to be more. We joked on the show on Wednesday of like, Moxley needs to cut off Big Bang Theory. Moxley needs to like come out there and only commercials for white t-shirts and coffee.
Do the promo from the truck. Take over the production truck. Do a little extra. Go to Gorilla. Do something with that. Like this is actually a really good point from Cyclops. TK heard Mox is going to seize the company a week in advance, and not only did he not stop it, he promoted it. And that's really what it comes down to, is that you can't say Moxley, who is, running roughshod over AEW, you can't say he's seizing TBS, he's taking over. What's he taking over, and why are you letting him do it? So if the story eventually becomes TK put Moxley up to this, or he's behind it, then sure, we can go back and eat our words a little bit and be like, okay, this was a big coup by TK to reset AEW because restoring the feeling wasn't enough. And then TK is suddenly the heel owner of the company. And I don't want to go down that route, but it's like the only feasible option at this point to explain Moxley comes and seizes TBS, or Moxley's coming, everyone run and hide. You can't run those promos. Nobody, like the NWO when it was WCW, they didn't start every week with the NWO is good. They're going to be here, but we don't know when and we don't know where. This isn't fearful. This is, he's going to do something. He's going to do something. It just wasn't, it doesn't fit to promote it for a week like this.
So Chi-Town Spurs, who says, if they didn't promote Mox U, I'm going to assume the U is a generality and not aimed at us, because we've been very clear that they don't have to promote Mox if they have a strong enough card. So we would not be mad that they didn't promote their world champion and main storyline on the show. No, we've been very clear that don't promote him. We would not be mad at all if they didn't promote him and he just showed up. You have a strong enough card where you don't have to promote him. We've said that plenty of times on this show. I put out a couple weeks ago, when it comes to the immersion factor of AEW and this story, and with the NWO, it was obviously different because you didn't have social media. You didn't have to really promote online, hey, the NWO is going to be here. It was Nitro. You kind of just knew the NWO was going to show up. You promote matches and everything, but you knew the NWO at some point was going to show up. And again, different day and age with this stuff. Can you get away with that now? And I think there is a way that, yes, you actually can get away with it. One, promote strong enough matches and other things happening to where people still going to tune in. It's your flagship show. Whether the champion is there or not, people should be tuning in. Whether he's promoted or not, people should be tuning in to your flagship show. And if he's there every week, you're pretty much saying without saying, yeah, Jon Moxley's going to be here. We just don't know when, and we don't know what he's going to do.
So these two comments are perfect. Like, expected to show up is great. And Pile Driver Finisher saying, Tony Schiavone could say something like, coming up next, what does Moxley have in store? Who will be his next victim when we return? And when that's happening, he's talking over the truck pulling into the building. We know whose truck that is. We know who that is. I guess he's coming up next. I'm hearing, Moxley wants airtime next. So we'll see him after the break. Don't go away. And then you make it so that you cannot miss that promo. And you haven't been promoting it for a week as Moxley, does the goofy thing that we said on social media. It's fine to just let it be a moment, to build it to a moment.
I think there are different ways to do this, but they're not going to do it, at least thus far. They're going to do the graphic, and the graphic looks cool. And then Moxley's going to do his typical segment. And then Orange Cassidy's going to respond. And they're going to do a good segment because they're very good at their jobs. And it's going to lead to a great match at Full Gear. Is it going to mean anything more? Is there going to be an actual reset, an actual, I won't say higher power, but an actual thing that affects the company? None of this feels like it affects the company in any type of way other than this is the world title feud. Even though the world title isn't like shown or it's mentioned, it was mentioned by Orange Cassidy, but like it's in the briefcase and everything. Like, is it going to be something more than that? Because right now that's all it feels like to me. It doesn't feel like there's any type of reset. It doesn't feel like there's any type of giant war going on. It did at first, but then again, Ospreay started dealing with the Don Callis family. Swerve started dealing with the Hurt Syndicate. Hangman Page is dealing with Jay White. Like, the people you would think would get drawn into this are off doing other things. And the people who were drawn into this, Private Party and Daniel Garcia, now they're off chasing titles. So they're not even worried about what's going on. I told you this after Private Party won the titles. I thought they should have mentioned Moxley and how, like, you broke my hand. Like, you made it real. Like, you made a step up. Like, yeah, we needed that. We're still going to kick your ass, but we needed that. Instead, they thanked the Young Bucks. I'm like, oh.
And that's why when that happened, I pushed back and I said, no, Moxley comes out that Wednesday and says, forget the Young Bucks. They didn't do this to you. We did. We pushed you to win those titles. We're taking the adulation for this. You didn't do shit, Private Party. We caused this. But instead it was, thank you, Young Bucks.
Yeah, it feels like the story could be more. It felt like it could have been more after they tried to murder Bryan Danielson. And then it wasn't. It's a wrestling story that lives in its own little bubble, and it's good. I don't want people to think that I'm actually against this story. I think it is a good wrestling story. I think it could be a better wrestling story. I think it could have more of an impact on the overall company. Like, they are trying to make it feel that way, and that's the thing. This isn't me saying like, oh, it could impact more. Why aren't they doing more? Why aren't they, like, they're trying. When you use the words like reset, when you were saying it's a takeover, when you were saying we're at war, when you're not showing the AEW title, when you're saying you're disgusted by these letters, when you're saying we're going to seize control of TBS, you were trying to make it more than just wrestling story in a wrestling bubble. You're trying to make it feel like it's bigger than that. And it doesn't come across that way.
Yeah, if there were means to make it feel bigger, then it would work. What's going on here has been, again, like, I like that Orange Cassidy's doing the I'm not a leader, and now he's stepping up as a leader. He's transitioned to, I know that people kind of make fun of the fact like, oh, he's in all black now. Like, gives him an edge. That's kind of the point. And it's there because he is finding himself as a leader, and hopefully this kind of elevates him into a world title picture that he can sustain and isn't just he doesn't just lose and goes back to being, I don't care, Orange Cassidy, back to square one. I hope that this changes him in a way that's meaningful. I don't think he needs a full character overhaul. That's not at all what I'm saying, but that this adds an extra layer to the Orange Cassidy character where he can now step up and be the guy and admit that he can be the guy when called upon. The rest of the time he can be lazy as shit. But when he notices that there's an injustice, there's something wrong, he will feel like, oh, I can do this. I can step up. That's what this story is to me right now. I have a feeling that they might try to Orange Cassidy do the plastic bag spot with him at the pay-per-view, and then they'll do it again for Darby at World's End, but Darby is Darby, so he's going to not die, and that's going to be how he wins, is by basically breaking out of the plastic bag, and then eventually gets the victory over Moxley and wins the title. That's just kind of the vibe I have. I could be wrong, but it's just like, if we keep invoking attempted murder, then the guy who cannot be murdered and keeps saying, I'm still standing, is more than likely not going to be taken down by the plastic bag of death. But yeah, this, again, there's so many good things about this story. It's just the way it's being promoted to me that makes it less impactful. And I want to see them kind of maybe bring it back down to earth. Moxley never once wanted to see that title because he's so disgusted with it. Go back to Wrestle Dream. When he takes that title from Bryce Remsburg, he doesn't even look at it. He grabs it and he just gives it to Claudio to put in the bag. He doesn't take a moment to even celebrate with it. Doesn't give a shit about it. Put it in the bag. Don't want to see it. I'm disgusted. That's what I want the focus to be on. You're disgusted with this company, but you're here to change it for the better in your own image, whatever that is. And then there are people pushing back on that. That's what it should be. And wrestling somehow finds a way to mimic real life. And if there's a fight against something, there's someone who's always fighting back for the life of the company, for whatever it is they believe in. This is what Orange Cassidy is doing. He believes in AEW as it is, and he thinks that whatever image Moxley has for the company is not the one that he thinks is best for the talent that Orange Cassidy represents. Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? You can use that story. You can work with that story. I'm just looking forward to.
That's the story they are using. That's the story. That's the wrestling bubble story that they're going with. And
that's a good story. I'm saying that's the good of this story. I'm saying this is what I like about this story. What I don't like is when you start getting promoted, like Moxley seizes TBS. Everybody run, Moxley's coming. Like, the way it's being promoted is not the way the story is being told. And the story is being told rather well. But then they give you hokey stuff like TBS, and you're just like, but he didn't seize anything. Like, using the big impactful words is arguably making it worse and making the talent have to work up from underneath to prove that they're doing the thing that you say they're going to do. When in reality, Moxley, he didn't seize anything. He came out and cut a promo at the crossover. That was it.
I think the bigger issue here is what's happened so far. Moxley feels like he's failing. Like, what has he accomplished so far? He wants to change AEW, and it just feels like he's failing with this stuff, because Private Party thanked the Young Bucks, so they actually changed the world, not Jon Moxley. Daniel Garcia is just going to fight Jack Perry, but Jack Perry's telling him he's not ready. So it's going to look like Jack Perry is actually changing Daniel Garcia. Dark Order is still just a bunch of dorks who lose. I just mentioned them. Top Flight, they're just losing and infighting and all this stuff. Leo Rush is changing because of the Hurt Syndicate. Like, it doesn't feel like Moxley's actually accomplishing anything with all of this. He's just showing up and he's saying all these words, but he's not changing anything.
I mean, Hurt Syndicate's going to be the changers. They're going to get all the talent that they want. They're going to get them with the magical business card.
Like, at least Kyle Fletcher shaved his hair to break away from Will. Don Callis, the Doc Rivers, is actually done more to inspire some change around here than Jon Moxley has. I don't feel like Jon Moxley has really changed anybody.
Well, he changed Wheeler Yuta, right?
Well, he's a pawn.
Oh, that's true. But he's not a pawn. He said so to the camera. And then Claudio said, don't say that.
John Moxley's just murdering people, which fair. I've advocated for more murder in wrestling, so like I'm all for that. But I do wish, you know what I mean? Like I do wish, again, I wish Private Party had kind of mentioned. They mentioned in an interview with Chris Jericho that like I listened to, but other people didn't. I'm sure. Good interview. By the way, everyone should probably check that out. Like they mentioned John Moxley breaking their hand, and that how like that made them. That was a catalyst for a change that they needed. I wish like Dark Order would have picked up some victories and would have fought differently. I wish Top Flight would have picked up some victories instead of just infighting and going about their business that way. I wish Leo Rush would have maybe, I know he went on a run because he beat Commander one time. Like I wish there would have been some actual change in the people they have kicked the shit out of over the past couple of months. But it really hasn't. Like it's still, these are all the same people outside of Private Party who the Young Bucks changed.
I just had this image of Brandon Cutler coming back, no beard, super serious, white t-shirt, like green camo jeans or whatever they all wear, Death Riders, and he comes out as a member of the Death Rider crew. Super badass Brandon Cutler, let's go. He's like, I changed for you. And then Moxley just beats the shit out of him and says like, no, you're not welcome here.
I wish the undercard would have changed a little bit more, right? And guys would have wrestled a little bit differently, or just we would have gotten some wins that were a little unexpected because for the most part, they put those match graphics up and it's like, oh, wonder who's going to win between Johnny TV and Daniel Garcia this week. Like, I wish we would have seen a little bit of change in that. And really, again, we haven't. So maybe that's actually the whole point of these graphics. Mox is a giant ass failure. He couldn't seize control of shit. John Moxley's going to seize TBS. How'd that work out for him? Well, not too well. He failed. Good job, Moxley.
Sheldon Cooper's going to come out here and just punch John Moxley in the face.
That's right. Sheldon Cooper kicked the shit out of John Moxley. It's over for the
Death Riders. You're a little bitch.
That wasn't a bad Sheldon Cooper, actually.
Well, thank you. All you got to be is nasally, like I've been feeling for the last 3 weeks. I'd love to see it, though. Penny just kicks him in the dick. Sorry.
John Moxley's like, put the graphic up that I seized TBS. Put it up there. Like, all right, sure, John, we'll put this up there. What are you doing? I had a good tweet on it wasn't a tweet, I guess, on the Blue Sky, where I'm kind of sort of over now. What if John Moxley is just doing his best Eric Bischoff impression? He showed up late. He gave a speech. People were like, this sucks. Get out of here. Let's fight you. And then he just left. He's like, oh shit, I screwed up. I'm out of here. And that's what Bischoff did for TBS for years. That's all John Moxley was doing. He was just doing an Eric Bischoff impression. In that case, he succeeded. Good on John Moxley.
Yeah, good on John Moxley. That's what I would say. Oh, man. Someone pointed out in the chat that Dynamite felt disjointed. Stories just kind of like happened individually. And you kind of made reference to that. My one thing is... I think Leo and Swerve should have been the main event. I really think...
that collision match was the main event.
Yeah, they did. Instead, it was Kings of the Black Throne and FTR, which, like, excuse me, of all the matches, it was the one that had the most stakes. And you and I discuss this often when it comes to, or at least when it used to come with AEW, they would do whatever title match. If there's one, that's the main event. Like, the match with the biggest stakes, they tend to make the main event. This would have been my main event, was Leo and Swerve, because of the Hurt Syndicate stuff. Instead, they had House of Black and FTR, which was like, why? So that we could reward Malachi Black for sorry, I swear.
Bro, Randy Orton's a little bitch, by the way. He got pile driven on SmackDown last week, and he's going to be out for who knows how long. Malachi took a spike pile driver on the apron, and he was up celebrating this victory. Get your shit together, Randy Orton. You ain't shit compared to Malachi Black.
Well, he's also, one back fusion difference between the two.
Malachi's got a hurt back. He doesn't know how that rumor started, but he's got a hurt back.
Don't tell anyone that I'm hurt.
It was 3 years ago, everybody. 3 years ago.
3 years ago, somebody told me I was hurt, and I had to tell them I wasn't.
He's fine now, and that Spike Pile Driver didn't do anything to him. He was good.
Anyway, regardless, I would have done Leo and Swerve as the main event instead of House of Black and FTR, because like you did reference, like, it was a very Collision main event, and that's not a knock at Collision. It's just that these two teams have been primarily focused on Collision. I would have been fine with that being a Collision main event, because at least the story moves from both show, or from the Collision to Collision, and Leo and Swerve has been very Dynamite focused, and the Hurt Syndicate as well. I thought Leo and Swerve was a fantastic match. I loved the finish, doing the big pressure, like catching Swerve, and then Swerve catching Leo basically putting all of his body weight forward for Swerve to pull him back so that he could hit the big pressure. Shit like that is fantastic. That's some strength beyond strength right there. I would have had that match be the main event, but instead, House of Black get a shock victory over FTR, and the hugs are free flowing from Malachi. I won the match. Everyone needs to know that I won this match.
If Swerve and Leo had been the main event, maybe you create a butterfly effect where Swerve does not mention Stanford, because when he mentioned Stanford, the crowd was done with this entire segment. They were done with everything. They cared more about getting Bridgeport over than anything the Hurt Syndicate and Swerve had to do. And I felt bad for him, because like, it was a good segment. You know, it was get more heat on the Hurt Syndicate. The crowd just only cared to remind you that they were Bridgeport and not Stanford. That's all.
Yeah, that was definitely something I was hoping they would get away from, but instead he said the wrong city's name, and then the city got upset. Anytime anyone else does that, the city doesn't really go after, the rest of the night.
They were offended. They were like, do not call us Stanford.
Why were they so offended?
Well, would you want to be Stanford? I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't know the difference between the city. I don't know the rivalries. It's like Toronto to Ottawa, I guess, or Ottawa to Montreal. I don't know.
Clearly, it's a pretty big rivalry. The fact that they would not let this go, and they had to go. It was Bridgeport. It was
a very I don't know, very unexpected moment. Yeah, I immediately thought of R-Truth with the what he said they were in Green Bay, and was it Green Bay when they were somewhere else? I
remember. But I know R-Truth has done that bit. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a bit the first time, but then it was, and then it was his entire character.
It wasn't a bit for Swerve. He unfortunately messed up, and the crowd was not gonna let that go.
It's fine. It kind of messed up the night. Like, I know people like to blame the crowd and stuff. I continue to say, oh, it's Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee versus Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay. I'm of the belief that I want AEW to do the blankets noise over the crowd. I know that this is, for some, it's a
blankets on the crowd. You're advocating for John Moxley here.
No, I want them to give blankets to the crowd so they can get cozy and enjoy the show. I would love to watch. I would love to go to a wrestling show where they hand me a blanket like it's nap time, and they're just like, get comfy, enjoy. Nap all. What's this? Naptown Pro. If Naptown Pro gave everyone a blanket on the way in and said, enjoy the show. There are beds over by the right. Maybe you're a couch person. Go to the left. If you want to sleep on that chair, good luck. If they gave me a pillow and a blanket, I would enjoy it. Anyway, my point is a blanket audio of sound in an arena. Like going to a hockey game, you just hear the chatter. You hear people talking, and then the reactions happen when the big plays happen or when the big goal is scored. All that stuff. Hey, buddy, wake up! It's the main event. No, it's fine. It's fine. I saw the main event. It was the opening match. I'm here for a nap. It's fine. I would rather some sort of just some background noise, because sometimes towns are not into the show. And is that an indictment on the program? Yeah, it could be, but you could make it a little more fun for the fans who are watching at home who don't know any better, that you just put a blanket sound over top of the crowd. It's a very WWE thing, but it's effective. Like whenever they do a backstage segment and they say, introducing my guest at this time, this guy, and you hear a crowd being like, yeah, and that's all fake sound with a little bit of people who are watching in the arena reacting. That's my little production nitpick. I want them to do that. It's easy and it's effective.
And stop shooting the MJF segments in the middle of the day when it's supposed to be at night.
24 frames per second. Yeah. I was hoping they wouldn't do that. Adam Cole's a big old loser.
Yeah, he sucks.
Said he would, and he did. He lost to Konosuke Takeshita, as he should.
He
didn't need to lose that match. They did a little bit of using the Dynamite diamond ring, and there's a little bit of bullshit in there. And again, so going back to,
you got to protect Cole. You can't just have him straight up lose.
Agreed. Going back to the disjointedness of Dynamite, this was one thing where it wasn't so disjointed, and that was the MJF story working with the Lance Archer story, working with the Will Ospreay story. Like, they did a little bit of moving things together while still separating the matches that are coming to Full Gear. So I do appreciate that. But yeah, Adam Cole's a big old loser. He sucks.
Yeah. It was the right call having Takeshita win. We talked about that on Wednesdays. Like, I wouldn't beat him. Cole can lose, but now we're going to get this feud until World's End. And good luck with that.
I told you from the get-go, I thought it was going to be Roddy Strong and MJF at Full Gear.
Yeah, I think I agreed with you.
I think you said it too.
Yeah, Cole and MJF going to World's End was going to make sense because that's where it started. Well, it makes sense. Now you got to get there. And they've struggled to get to this point and to maintain interest because crowds ain't exactly been with Cole. It's very... Adam Cole was like the guy last year. He was the guy. He was getting some of the biggest reactions on those shows. They could have put the world title on him at All In. I don't think anyone would have been like, oh, that's the wrong move. A lot of people would have been like, yeah, you know what? Adam Cole deserves that. He's getting huge reactions. His return should have been, it's like, oh, Adam Cole, he's back. Here's a top babyface coming back, coming off of this injury. Man, they haven't done him a whole lot of favors with this story, with the matches he's been in, with the layout of these matches, everything. Just there hadn't been a whole lot good for Adam Cole so far, and it's unfortunate to kind of see these reactions he gets. That Adam Cole pop used to hit, man. And you know what's all about the? It was like, oh shit, here comes Adam Cole, and now it's just like, crowd wasn't great on Wednesday. Like, you know, it wasn't a good crowd. But as I always say with the crowds, like, was the crowd bad, or did the show not give the crowd to get excited about anything? And not the show, that particular show, but the interest in general has as the product not giving the crowd something to cheer about. Sometimes a little bit of both. Sometimes it is just a bad crowd. It's like, the show's good, the crowd's just bad. Sometimes like, well, the product ain't super hot right now, and they ain't giving the crowd too much to cheer about. So
yeah, it goes both ways with that. We've talked about it. The crowd gets invested when the investment is given by the company. If they're not invested in the show, then they're not going to be invested in whatever's going on in the ring. Great matches are great matches. That's why the pay-per-views do well, is because that's where the wrestling is supposed to be tip top. But if you're just giving matches and not much else, then some people aren't really super into that. So, you know, kind of is what it is. But at least the Roddy Strong and Lance Archer match was fine. You know, they got in and got out, had not too much plunder, but just enough to, they basically fought around. They did a table spot backstage or in the entranceway, but other than that, they just kind of did it quick and got out of it. And Lance Archer doesn't look terrible, but Roddy Strong gets the win, and that'll be that. So Cole and MJF and Strong is on paper a good match. Wrestling wise, people are going to enjoy the wrestling. Not having MJF there to physically be a part of the build does take away from the general story as to what you do next for Adam Cole. Do you have him get involved in the match at Full Gear? it almost feels inevitable. It feels like MJF is going to have someone join him, whether that's the Kingdom or if that's Roddy Strong himself. It feels like something's going to happen. So, yeah. And then they'll go to Cole and Strong as the World's End match.
I don't know. They seem like they might be teasing.
Cole and MJF is what I meant.
Yeah, they seem like they might be teasing Cole, Strong, and O'Reilly getting back together. That's why when you said MJF bringing, you good?
Yeah, no, it's something's in the throat. Though, okay. Yeah, you get Taven and Bennett. Oh, Taven and Bennett with MJF. You know MJF wants to say Melvin so bad. He's going to look, Matt Taven is going to say, like, look at this Melvin, and MJF's going to be like, I love that. And it's going to be obnoxious.
That would be a choice to go with that. I don't need MJF being flanked by people again. Like, it feels like we've been there and we've done that. I don't really need that anymore. It's not like Undisputed Kingdom or the Kingdom in this case. Not like they've been presented as like super threats either. It's like, all right, cool. Here's the group that didn't they lose the titles to, was that them? I can't. Asking me to remember the history of the ROH tag team titles. In the words of Will Ospreay, those belts don't mean shit. I don't think he said that exactly, but he kind of paraphrased.
Pretty much, yeah. Are you talking about who they lost to? I'm pretty sure they lost to Dustin and Sammy.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. I just can't.
Okay, I'm trying to follow your train of thought here.
Yeah. I realize that's a difficult thing to follow. A train of thoughts. Now they beat Aussie Open. For some reason, I thought MJF and Cole they beat
Undisputed Kingdom.
They beat Undisputed, but it was the Righteous.
Yeah,
no, but it was the Righteous that MJF beat in that handicap match. That's what I was thinking of. MJF beating up a team in a handicap match.
Yeah, when he did the drop kick into the butt.
Yeah. So,
that was a big thing.
But like again, Taven and Bennett, they've been presented like these huge threats on TV. So,
hooray! Oh man, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see Taven and Bennett jump over to MJF, just so MJF be like something with the Melvins, and he'll pop for that. It's because it's so hokey. But MJF not being on TV is it. I give MJF shit for promos all the time, but when he's not there to build a show or a program, that's missed for better or worse. Just the presence being not being there plays into the interest that fans have in the match that's going to go on. Sorry, trying not to cough my brains out while I'm in.
All right.
Oh, there's something in the back of my throat. It's just getting at me. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with the MJF stuff. I don't know if you have anything to add about getting into Strong and MJF at Full Gear.
That's a fine match. I expect MJF to win. It'd be good. And then the Devil comes out afterwards. I just want them to like bring it back. Just who cares at this point? This story, people are pretty out on it. So let's just go full bore and let's just bring the Devil back. It's Wardlow.
Oh, you did it too.
That's Wardlow, baby. Let's go.
Oh god. And like they don't even try to hide it this time. He just walks out with like his big Wardlow stance. He's wearing his Wardlow tights. And like, why is he wearing the mask?
He power bombs MJF. He power bombs Adam Cole, and he takes off the mask, and people are, shocked that it's Wardlow. He's like, fuck, who saw that coming?
Oh my god, it's Wardlow.
You know what? Like, this idea is stupid, but it's not terrible. You know what I mean? Like, Wardlow being like the Devil the whole time, and he takes out both men. Like, that's not the worst idea in the world. If you're trying to get Wardlow back on TV and like heating him up and everything, they'll drop it within a month because they can never keep a Wardlow push longer than a month or so. But like, it's not the worst idea ever. You can't go back to like Cole or MJF being the Devil. That's just done. But Wardlow being the Devil the whole time? No, that's not a completely trash idea. It's not great. I fully admit that. It's not great. But like, We've had worse ideas on this show. Those are the ideas.
Yes, trash. Someone had mentioned Speedball. We should probably talk about Speedball for a second.
Cocaine?
Yeah, you get some heroin and cocaine, and you mix them together, and you put them. Anyway,
is that what a speedball is?
I think it's meth and cocaine, but I also am not a drug guy, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Fightful Select reported that Speedball Mike Bailey is AEW bound. Yeah. Not a shock. we sat on this show and we've talked about Speedball's next steps. We didn't know when he was done with TNA other than end of 2024. Turned out end of 2024 was November 1st. That makes the departure and losing the X Division Championship stuff really interesting, especially when you think in the Vikingo stuff. I know that Steven Jensen's kind of made reference to this before, but Moose won the X Division Championship. That was it for Speedy. He's out. He could work WrestleCade. He'll be at the show, but he's not promoted for anything at all. But if he goes over to AEW, then good for him. This is exactly what I kind of mentioned when we started talking about Speedball, was that he values the freedom to do whatever he wants creatively in wrestling and out of wrestling. He likes to do his Twitch streams. He likes to do his fightertainment. He likes to work the indies. Like, he wants to do everything. And this is his first opportunity at a big major TV contract that gets him paid and gives him opportunities. And he still gets to do everything else he wants to do. Arguably, WWE not going to give him that option. There are a lot of great matches. Don't get me wrong. Super matches that he could have in WWE, but the freedom to do the things he does now, which he enjoys doing, they weren't on the table like they are with AEW. So go out there, have a great run in the C2. Hopefully they have long-term plans for him. That's something that, again, I always push, is like, you can't just bring someone in, give them a great couple of weeks, and then shuffle them to the back of the line. Deonna Purrazzo is the latest person that I'm like, you could be doing so much more, but instead you have nothing really happening with her. She's sometimes on TV. They got her with Taya Valkyrie, but otherwise, like, she's lost in the shuffle. I do not want that for Speedball.
The smartest thing you've ever said. Speedball in the C2. That's how I would immediately debut him. Put him in that tournament. Let him have great matches and go from there. Then obviously you got to plan after that, but immediately put him in that tournament and let him kill it.
If he's not in the C2, then someone screwed up real big, because he's free now. And if he's signed and he's good to go, if he's not in that tournament, then someone screwed up.
If he's not in the tournament, then I wouldn't debut him until after the tournament, honestly. Like, I wouldn't bring him in until after the tournament. And I realize that means the start of next year, because the C2 ends at World's End. That's usually the final, I believe. I'm pretty sure that was the final last year, is at World's End. So
I think so.
It was an Undertaker eye roll.
I'm trying to think back to when it was, and it was, yeah.
Because
Eddie had his moment and all that stuff.
So I wouldn't bring him in until after that, because the C2 time is banger match time. That's the whole point of the tournament. You don't want to bring him in when you're already putting on great matches on both Dynamite and Collision. It's like, oh, here's this other guy who's also just having great matches. And then you start to worry about it bleeding too much into each other and him getting a little lost of like, why is he not in this tournament? But it's like, oh, you're kind of already showcasing the great wrestling you have. So bringing in another great wrestler doesn't make that great wrestling stand out as much. So yeah, I'd put him in the tournament, or I wouldn't bring him in until after the tournament.
But at that point, if you don't bring him in for the tournament, what does he do afterwards? Like, what's his...
Well, you see where the landscape is at that point. Like, I'm not going to try to figure out, where does he figure in January? Because who knows what's going to change between now and January. There could be something where it's like, oh, he makes sense actually in this feud because this title has changed, or this story has changed, or this person got hot. So I don't know where he fit in come January, because who knows what's going to change. Jon Moxley's resetting the whole company at World's End, so who knows what's going to happen.
It's true. He's going to just take every title and repurpose them. I do like. There's a possibility that they do Daniel Garcia and Speedball at World's End for the TNT title. I'm like going beyond now. I'm just moving ahead in case Speedball's not going to win the C2. Let's say he doesn't, and then I could do a TNT title match with Garcia and Speedball. People will probably be into that. Tom LaValle was mentioning earlier, he likes the idea of Wardlow feuding with both Adam Cole and Roddy Strong. What if Speedball teams up with Wardlow? That's a team, just like Jake something. He would be his AEW Jake something. They can win the tag titles.
By the way, we got super chat money for my idea, so that shows that is not trash.
That's true. Well, then
shows
again,
it's not the worst idea we've had on this show.
I've also given bad ideas that have gotten super chat money. Granted, most of this is like, Joel, stop. Joel, why? Don't do this, Joel. What are you doing? But people give their money to be upset, so it's just as valuable as the ones that praise your ideas.
Yeah, sure.
In January, Speedball can just seize TBS.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's great.
You just go in there with like his nunchucks and everything. Be like, all right, guys, start kicking everybody.
Wardlow and Speedball become low ball.
All right, you know what? That's actually good.
That's the answer.
I'm actually for this now.
Go low ball, and they go up to Hurt Syndicate and be like, "We got an offer for you."
Yeah. What if it's just a spoof on, this would be terrible, but it's a spoof on WWE, and they just go up to various people and they give them low ball contract.
They give it there to the AEW ID guys. Oh, you froze at the wrong moment. Where are you? Come back.
All right, there we go.
All right, did you hear what I said?
No.
They're the AEW ID guys.
Oh, so I was trying to say something similar. Is what if it's like a spoof on WWE and they give everybody just like lowball offers, and Hurt Syndicate, they go to Leo, and Leo's like, well, Hurt Syndicate's offering me this much, and they're like, we don't feel that's in our budget. That's a little bit overpriced for you. How about we offer you this much, but you can do this instead. You can go to NXT. You're part of the developmental program. I guess it would be NXT. It's the Speedball Dojo or whatever. You can be part of Speedball Developmental. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you'd have to move to Montreal, but that's fine.
You can be on Twitch with me. We can review matches and stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. we can sit on our Twitch channel and talk about it. And then Scorpio Sky can join us.
Oh man, remember him?
Nope.
Poor Scorpio. I bet he gets like a vignette on Saturday for some reason. They're like, oh, it's been like 2 months since we've run a Scorpio vignette. Shit. He's part of the November Rain.
I was gonna say they got to show the November Rain vignette, so he's gonna be front and center there. I hope they don't do that. He's the power behind Private Party. There you go. You back now?
I don't know. I switched my internet. Hopefully it works.
You seem to be back. That's a good news.
Okay, so what I was saying is he gets a vignette on Saturday because it's been like 2 months since they've given him one. So like, oh shit, we gotta put Scorpio in something. He's part of the November Rain vignette. He's the whole focus of that thing.
The whole thing. He's the whole thing. Yeah.
They're like, why are they promoting Scorpio Sky for this November Rain?
It's his new gimmick. Axel Scorpio Sky. They'll call him Scorpio Rose.
Play guitar?
I mean, Axel didn't really play guitar. He sometimes played piano.
Oh, Slash played guitar. Axel played guitar, didn't he?
Yeah, Slash plays guitar.
Okay, but did Axel play guitar?
Not really. He played piano in that one thing.
Have they done a cover of Creep by Smashing Pumpkins?
It's entirely possible. They're still not a very good band.
Fair.
Amazing. He should do the entire November Rain. He should they start playing the vignette and Scorpio Sky stops. He stops it. Like, he's just like, nope, cut that shit out. No, we're not doing it. And like Tony Khan's in the back being like, I spent $500,000 on that. Why did he stop it? And then Scorpio should be like, I'm here to seize TNT. And everyone's just like, yeah, you seize TNT, Scorpio Sky. I'll play the video too. I got nothing. They got nothing for Scorpio, so do I.
We got plenty for Scorpio. Are you kidding me? We've pitched the best Scorpio idea ever, and they just won't use it.
He should be absolutely heading up the Hurt Syndicate. He should be the guy.
I mean, that's honestly fair. He should be.
Who's going to be the fourth man in Hurt Syndicate?
Why do they need a fourth man?
They seem to think they need a fourth. I guess because at that point you can have Bobby go for a singles title, Bobby and Shelton go for a tag title, Bobby, Shelton, and X person go for a trios title, and then the four of them don't have to rely on MVP to wrestle in the trios division.
Maybe MVP wants to wrestle a little. Says he's not done.
He just wants to have, fight matches against his pal Josh Barnett.
Fair.
And he's going to get it, but it's not going to be on AEW TV. I don't know if he's contracted to wrestle in AEW.
He's got contracts. I assume he can wrestle.
Oh, you know what I mean? He's not expected to wrestle.
Does he have contracts? He didn't get a graphic.
He didn't get a graphic. You're right. They've been pretty fast in the lead. Didn't he get a graphic? I'm pretty sure he did at Grand Slam.
Did he? I don't feel like he did.
I'm pretty sure he did. MVP. Where you at, Tony Khan? Is the Shelty B is all elite. And there's the Bobby Lashley one.
I don't think he got a graphic.
I
think people made a graphic.
Oh, that's typical.
Yeah, everyone always makes like a fake graphic, but I don't think he actually got a real all elite graphic.
Wow, that's
upsetting. See it. I don't think so.
We should talk to Tony about that.
Well, maybe MVP he's signed to the Hurt Syndicate. He's not signed to AEW.
It's true. Although Bobby was supposedly that too, but then Bobby signed.
Tony just tweeted the graphic.
Yeah. He just tweeted it out.
Yeah.
When was this? This was September, wasn't it? There's the Shelty B.
Telling you, he didn't get one.
I believe you. I do. Wow. Can't believe MVP is not important enough.
Beast Mortos is the fourth guy. That's a good shout. Beast Mortos just like
he's
goes from
fourth guy.
He just goes from like group to group. People can't figure out what's going on with him. It's like, that's part of our group. He's part of our group. Beast is just like, arr, 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 arr.
Well, he's a lawyer,
Allegedly.
Did you hear about this? Did you know about this? He's a lawyer. And Tony's been telling people that because he's a lawyer, it's a really stupid background story that's circulated. Anyway, he should just join every group. That's what Beast Morto should do.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, he should be the next guy in the Von Erichs. Mortos Von Erich.
He's just testing the waters on different groups. He's like he's got to see where he fits.
Yeah.
It's understandable. You never know how it's going to work out. It's like, this group, there's some positives here, but there's also some positives over here.
The premier Mortos.
Roosh. I get tired of Roosh saying Hearns. It's Horns, buddy.
He's the one who's correcting him. One last thing. It's Horns, not Hearns. And then he just walks off screen. And Roosh is like, what? And that's the end of it.
If you write Hearns in a contract, it's going to be dismissed. Like, no.
He and Smart Mark Sterling should be a tag team. The lawyers.
Nah, they're against each other. They're competing.
Yeah, but they should get together. They should form a Mortos and Smart Mark, LLC.
Okay.
Smart Mortos.
The firm? Is that what you're saying?
They should become a firm.
They tried that one.
What's Stokely up to? Who cares?
What is Stokely up to?
I'm sure he'll have Action Andretti in his pocket in no time because who knows? Oh, God. Anyway, Julia Hart's coming back. What do you think of these segments?
Cool.
You like them?
Yeah.
I think they're really well shot. I think they actually, they look good. It's going to be fun to see Julia Hart back in the ring. Looks like Jamie Hayter might be her first big story. Just judging by who she cut off with that segment, I would assume Jamie Hayter is going to be the first person, but Hayter is also supposed to be on the ascent.
That's fine. sometimes you got to do these matches between people who you need to elevate two of them. So
that's
no
fair.
problem with it. I don't know. I guess Julia Hart's the heel in this.
Oh, easily. Yeah. People are going to cheer her when she's back. That is the reality of it. But if she's good at her job, then she can get the heat back. It's just going to come down to Jamie Hayter is very likable as well. So if the beatdown is done in such a way where people will actually boo Julia Hart, then it works. But you have to trust that the crowd will go along with it. That's the tough part.
They're teasing Jamie Hayter, but then they're just going to throw like Serena Deeb or Queen Amanada out there to lose.
It'll be Harley Cameron, but Harley Cameron's going to come out dressed as a cheerleader because that's what she does.
Actually good. I love Harley Cameron. It'd be cool if she won some matches, but she's fantastic.
Well, spoiler alert, she ain't going to win on Saturday. Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa have a boob off.
I didn't expect her to win when I saw that match graphic. I've not read the spoilers, but AEW booking match by match can be pretty predictable at times. So yeah, when I'm like, yeah, Mina's probably going to win that match.
They had Commander win on Ring of Honor.
Did they? He's losing to Shelton.
He's got a match against Shelton B.
Yeah, he ain't beating Shelton. I feel like Commander is going to beat Rocky tonight, though, because they're not going to beat Commander twice. They're not going to have him lose to Rocky and then lose to Shelton. Like usually what they do is like, we'll give you a win on Rampage to give you a victory so we can beat you on Collision. That's typically how it works.
It's also Rocky. He'll eat us like no problem. Yeah. That's fine. This is what they do with Commander at this point. They really have settled him into two wins on the C&D show, and then we bring you on to the A or B show and you lose. And he has a great match, and like everyone praises the work rate because he had a great one with Kyle Fletcher. Everyone's praising the Shelton Benjamin match last night. And yeah, they should have, but instead it's he has a good match and then he loses. But whatever. You know what makes people happy to watch other people have this match. Mina and Harley Cameron will be very entertaining, I'm sure. Looking forward to it.
I like both of them. Harley Cameron is great.
King Potato, are you okay?
Yeah, what's going on here, King Potato?
Did your cat walk across the keyboard?
Oh, I mean, that would actually be a good explanation.
I don't know, because like it's just the same character over and over again.
Yay, cats.
They just kind of
so much,
I don't have a cat, so I don't know.
Oh.
This is something my kid would do.
Oh. Maybe that's what happened.
Type the same
thing. Get hacked?
Maybe.
Did he get fried?
Maybe.
Okay.
What else we got? Fake walls?
Oh, those segments are hilarious. They could only follow up that attempted hit and run with let's go through a wall ruled.
It was there. Okay, we have an explanation. I was FaceTiming my girlfriend, had my phone propped up on the keyboard.
Oh, fair.
First of all, props to you for FaceTiming your girlfriend while listening to us. Okay,
yeah, that sounds terrible.
That sounds like an awful idea. Yeah. But also, appreciate he was seizing the show. He was seizing all right. Anyway, Mercedes and Camille hate Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander's appearance at the end of the segment was the best, just when she shows up behind Mercedes. And just
I disagree. I disagree that Mercedes and Camille hate Chris Statlander.
No, Mercedes hates Camille and Chris Statlander.
Yeah, I think Mercedes and Statlander hate Camille. Like, that's what I think this actually is. Or Camille's just like walking out, her arms in a sling, and then Statlander's like, anyway, get out of here.
Just gonna abort you from the segment. And then they go through the wall. Do you think Camille's gonna be a part of the match on at Full Gear? Like not in the match, but like, is she gonna play a factor, or is Statlander gonna get rid of her early?
I feel like she's gonna screw up. Isn't that the thing? I think she's gonna screw up and cost Mercedes the title, and then Mercedes is gonna berate her, and then Camille's gonna turn on her and be like, I'm not taking this anymore. And then Mercedes is gonna be like, oh, this sucks. And then Mercedes is gonna beat her on a match on Dynamite and then move on.
This is kind of the story.
And then Camille, sorry to cut
No, finish up.
Okay, Mercedes is gonna beat Camille on a match on Dynamite. And then Camille's going to come out during a Britt Baker segment, and Britt Baker's going to be like, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
We get there in a minute. We'll get there in a minute. Oh, nobody cares. to me, as much as I want Chris Statlander to beat Mercedes, I really think that they're working towards Mercedes wins despite Camille screwing up, and then Mercedes and Camille have a thing. Camille turns face, and Camille's the one who beats Mercedes for the TBS.
You are way too caught up on Camille beating Mercedes. I don't think they see that much in Camille based on what we've seen on television. Like, they ain't put a whole lot of equity and stock into Camille. She's beaten a couple people on some low-level shows, and then she's lost every big match she's been in, and she's been treated like a joke next to Mercedes.
But she's so big, Jeremy.
And Mercedes has worn heels to cut that off. Like, they have not given me the impression that Camille is like some type of threat of, oh man, she's going to be the one to beat Mercedes. I understand like the story could be she gets fed up with Mercedes and that's that. But if that's going to be the story, you should probably have her be a little bit more helpful to Mercedes, to where when Mercedes does berate her and she gets fed up, people are excited for the turn. It's like, oh shit, yeah. Now what's Mercedes going to do? The person that she relied on all the time is no longer with her. Instead, Mercedes wins without her. Camille looks stupid all the time. Mercedes berates her. And so if Mercedes just turns on, it's like, yeah, that's probably justified. She didn't really need her in the first place. She just kind of got in the way all the time. Like, I just don't see, like, if that's the story they're telling, they ain't telling it very well.
Yeah, exactly. The I don't know, man. There's just a part of me that thinks they might do it. There's just a part of me that thinks they might do it.
But it feels like Stats winning.
It does, and I really like the idea of Chris Statlander winning at home and like building up this match on her home turf and making it a bigger deal than it should be, or than it has been so far, is what I meant to say. And Camille just do a thing with Mercedes afterwards, and hopefully you don't middle her, and hopefully you don't have to deal with nobody cares.
That ruled.
What a way to do that.
Why are people mad about this?
I think it's because it just made Serena Deeb feel less than. And of course, it's Britt Baker, so everyone gets upset about anything Britt Baker does. She breathes wrong and people get upset. Serena Deeb comes out at the end of Britt Baker's match. Britt Baker's already won. She beat Penelope Ford. I got to get the name right. I'm sorry. And then you have Serena Deeb at the top of the stage, doesn't have a microphone or anything like that. And she's kind of like pointing at Britt Baker. She's got her big flag with her. She's not waving it or anything. She just has it. And she gestures towards Britt Baker. And Britt Baker, to the camera where there is a microphone pointed at it, says, nobody cares. And people get upset about that. And like, I understand it does kind of less than your talent, but like Britt Baker's Britt Baker. Like, she's going to be that. That's part of her character. She underestimates everybody. She thinks she's the best. Nobody cares. And then she's going to have a match with Serena Deeb. But hopefully they're going to also play that into the story where Serena Deeb's just like, nobody cares. I'm going to make you care. Whatever that is, she's got to make that lose. And then lose.
Did Britt Baker make her feel less than, or did the booking for the past 4 years make her feel less than?
Well, yes, that should not be shocking to anybody.
When Britt Baker does the nobody cares, I'm like, hell yeah, you're right, Britt. Here's Serena, who is basically treated as a challenger of the month every now and again, and otherwise it's just off television. No offense to Serena Deeb, very good wrestler. I admire what she's gone through and come back from. As a television character, as a person on this TV show, we've not been given a real reason to care about her. She's there, she loses, she disappears. She's there, she loses, she disappears. That is the entire Serena Deeb arc. So Britt Baker being like, nobody cares. On it, the crowd reaction said nobody cared. As the crowd did not care one bit when she came out there. You know, we complained about man, AEW's lying to us with this graphic of Mox sees TBS, and then there was no season. Britt Baker was not lying to us. She was at least being honest. So nobody cares. Like, you know what, Britt? You're right. Can't possibly pretend to care that Serena Deeb is out there. Should you maybe not present it that way? Be like, maybe treat it like, you know what? Don't like, no. Don't treat it like, oh no.
She's Serena Deeb. It should just be like, oh, okay, you want some next? Okay, you're next. That's it. It's just two people want to fight. It's like, oh, we got a problem? Okay, I'll kick your ass next. And that's how you build it. The nobody cares is, again, like, it's just, that's her character. That her character is just, nobody cares. I'm better than everyone. It was just weird. Yeah, like Pile Driver Finisher says it. Like, it was supposed to be basic wrestler trash talk. Yeah. But they just went back to it so often. It was like, oh dear.
Britt should just keep doing this, honestly. Just nobody cares. That's our new catchphrase.
Nobody.
Somebody says something.
That's Willow's.
I guess. Somebody says something, just nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right, stop. Who could possibly care about this? Britt Baker ceases caring.
Chat's mentioning this PW Insider news that's out there. That WWE and Netflix sources have indicated that they expect Becky Lynch to be, quote, back in the mix by the Raw debut on Netflix. If that's the case, can't tell you I'm surprised. I think a lot of people have kind of posited that Becky would be a part of Rumble season, the ramp up to WrestleMania. I wouldn't call it shocking, but I am also, I'd expect it. I don't know if you have anything to add to something like that, because Becky is obviously a major player in the WWE landscape. For $2 million, how do you feel, Jeremy Lambert?
It'll be good to see Becky back. And I don't know if it's true or not. She is doing the appearance this weekend at some convention, some festival. So she's talking like about her book and then who knows what else. But she's not gonna. I don't think she's gonna make some big announcement at this convention or this festival of like, hey, I've resigned and I'm coming back. Unless, of course, WWE wants her to do that. Then she will obviously do it. But I feel like she's probably just going to keep playing coy during this, maybe give nothing away. And then, yeah, I expect her back at some point. I think everybody expects her back at some point. Raw Netflix debut makes some sense.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a fun fit. Don't know who the women's champion is going to be at that point, but I assume that Becky's going to come back and either want a women's world championship match at the Royal Rumble or announce herself as part of the Royal Rumble match, which is good. Your favorite has officially entered the Royal Rumble, John Cena. He made that announcement on socials. Are you excited for the Cena Rumble?
I want to be clear that it's not necessarily he's in the Rumble.
He'll be at the show.
Yeah, it'll be a part of the show, which we kind of figured he'd be on the show and wrestle on the show. I assume he will be in the Rumble. That's at least my prediction, is he will be in the Rumble match. But he just said it will be, at the Royal Rumble event or it'll be his last time competing in a Royal Rumble PLE. Like, he didn't specifically say the match. So that's why I don't.
Political son of a bitch.
Well, yeah, words are important, Joel.
Not in this case. Not when you have to pick them so soft you got to chew them twice later. Come on, what are we doing? WWE just announced that the MSG Holiday Tour will feature Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed in a steel cage. That'll be fun. It'll be a fun match.
Okay.
That's on the MSG social page. At the Garden, I'm sure Andrew Zarian's very excited about that.
I think Sean's going to that show too. So.
He is going to that show. He's very excited.
Good on them.
Yeah. Maybe I should go to that show.
Good luck.
I am not going to that show. But if you want to fly me out, you can donate a super chat for $300 and I will book my tickets now.
I don't think anybody's going to do that, but
I don't think so either. Would be very interesting. Where are we? I don't have anything else from AEW to add. If you have anything, I don't know.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Collision looks like it'll be a fun show on Saturday. The November Rain promo is going to get people anyway.
Does it?
No. Well, does it look like it'll be a good show? Yeah, it looks like it'll be fine. Again, a lot of people saying Commander and Shelty B is going to be a great match. I'm sure the Mina and Harley is going to be a very fun match. You've got the tag match, the tag qualifier, I'm sure is in there as well.
Okay. Yeah, look, there are some good matches and everything. Once again, it feels like a show where Mariah May and Anna Jay's on this show. Okay. I kind of forgot about that one. That's all.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's no DQ.
Yeah.
And it's
but see, I don't feel it still feels like it's just a predictable kind of show. But it should be good regardless. So
yeah, it's fine. It's going to be a fun Saturday night show, or you watch it whenever you want. Who cares? Go watch the wrestling when you're ready to watch the wrestling.
Yeah, I'm watching fighting this weekend.
Fighting.
Making movies, making films, and fighting around the world.
Let's talk about WWE talent being in attendance for the Tyson and Jake Paul fight.
I assume there will be some, maybe. Well, I don't know. They got SmackDown tonight, so.
Yeah, but it's Netflix, so I'm sure there'll be some people there. Don't expect.
I'll send some Raw people there. Damian Priest will probably be there.
Rey Mysterio will be there because it's Rey Mysterio.
Rey goes everywhere.
Yes, yeah, he'll bring his son with him. His dipshit son will be with him.
I'm trying to think, who would be in Tyson's corner. Like Logan will obviously be in his brother's corner, I assume.
Oh, if he brings his baby, that's gonna be bad. Anyway,
I think he's gonna bring his baby.
Influencers do stupid shit, Jeremy. If you haven't noticed.
True. I would hope that Nina Agdale would step in and be like, let's not use this baby for content here during a Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight.
Let me see that baby. I'm gonna eat that baby.
I'd say, I feel like Triple H would have been in Mike Tyson's corner, but I assume he's gonna be running SmackDown tonight, so he's not gonna be there.
Well, he could have someone else do it.
Yeah. Well, Bruce is out right now.
So. I don't know who. Rob Fee is gonna run SmackDown.
Paul Heyman's gonna run SmackDown.
Yeah, you could do that. The baby's dressed as a tiny prime ball.
But Austin, Stone Cold. They're in Texas. I know he's in Vegas now, but the fight's in Texas. So
maybe Austin will go. Maybe that'll be his announcement that he'll be there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Please be joking. It's Ken, so I don't know.
Yeah, no. I actually think that Ric Flair would be in Mike Tyson's corner.
Oh God. That sounds awful. I'm just checking. I'll be in your corner. We'll party all night long to celebrate when you win. Woo. I feel like he means metaphorically in his corner.
I don't think metaphorically at all. I think he'll be there.
Jesus, no. Yeah. All of this sounds awful. Chris Jericho should be in Mike Tyson's corner.
That's possible.
I hope he doesn't do it. Oh man. It'll be a fight that exists. I don't really have anything else to add about these two. Anyway, what else is there? You want to talk about TNA for the next 40 minutes?
No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either. I don't really have much to talk about. I mean, we got through AEW. We know what's going on. There's no big news that needs to be broached, right?
I'm watching a man shoot a gummy into a water bottle from half court.
Yeah, once again, not much to talk about as he watches this video.
Y'all heard a lethal shooter? People in the chat might have him. Oh, he rolls. He helps NBA players get better and stuff. He's taking a gummy, a Haribo, and into a water bottle, this one here. And he's shooting it from half court.
Good for him. Good for him.
That's talent. That's real talent. I don't care what these wrestlers are doing. These flips and stuff. Shooting a gummy into a water bottle from half court. That's real talent.
Looks like I don't have any talent. No, I don't have any talent.
Fair.
My talent is talking, and I can't talk anymore.
Yeah, we got some WWE ID reviews.
Oh yeah, a bunch of people got signed. Who got? Oh, yeah, let's go through this real quick. I got to pull them up.
Brad Baylor.
Thank you.
Jackson Drake and Aaron Rourke.
Aaron Rourke is the one that everyone's been talking about for many reasons. Yeah, there you go.
Really? What reasons?
People know Aaron Rourke. He has been out there. Dijak put him over really big.
Okay. You said many reasons.
Oh, yeah. No, so I'm not saying not bad reasons. Okay. Not bad reasons. No, for positive reasons. He's a guy that's been around and pretty well liked. The other names I don't know yet. Again, Sunday there will be a couple more. Memphis and Northern Crown are going to have 2 more. Are they doing more tonight? There's one tonight, right?
Yeah, there's one tonight. Yeah, Memphis is tonight, I believe. And then Northern Crown is Sunday.
Yeah.
So at least 2 more coming up.
All right. Again, I'm not on the indie destruction train with all this stuff. They're literally letting these people, have some sort of deal where they get paid and they go wrestle and they get better and they take deals. They take they take advice with the hopes of getting a gig later on. It's a pipeline deal. It is what it is. Until somebody gets another offer from another company and WWE has to deal with the ramifications of that, that's going to be the first test, in my opinion.
I keep saying Tony's just got to throw something out there. He's got the money. He's spending all his money on November Rain. Offer one of these wrestlers $200,000 a year. Just see if WWE matches that. See what happens. If WWE, if they match it or if they allow, just figure out what these deals are about here. That's what I would do if I had Tony's money. I wouldn't run a wrestling promotion. That sounds way too much stressful. But I'd fuck with other wrestling promotions.
Reb and asking if we talked about Speedball. We did in our own little way. Again, nothing is really shocking with the Speedball deal. It's a great opportunity for him. And you and I talked about him being part of the C2, which is good. It just comes down to Speedball's, opportunities. I said this on Blue Sky. Every interaction I've ever had with Speedball Mike Bailey has been a different one when it comes to professional wrestling and his views on it. He's going to be great. And he's going to be able to continue taking indie bookings, do his Twitch streaming, do fight entertainment. Nothing changes in the Speedball world, except now he's on a bigger platform. That's it. And it's good for him. I'm glad.
Yeah, TK should license Brass Monkey.
You've got Mikey Ruckus who can come up with something good. Not that Brass Monkey isn't great, but it's not the vibe is different with Brass Monkey, to me at least. I think it's a very open song sonically. I think he can come up with something better. Not that his TNA one was good.
Are you not a fan of the Funky Monkey?
I am a big fan of the Beastie Boys, but
are you?
Yeah, I do like them.
Okay.
Come on, 3 Jewish dudes who rap? Come on.
I wouldn't take you for a Beastie Boys fan. That's all.
Oh, come on, man. I grew up with that at summer camp because it was 3 Jewish boys who knew how to rap.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Kind of had to like them. Otherwise, you were outcasts from the camp.
Do you have a license to ill?
I do. Got it at Paul's Boutique.
Okay. Sabotage would be a good entrance theme.
Yeah. That'd be good. If they wanted to license something from the Beasties, I'm all about it. Brass Monkey's always been that one song it's fine. I don't even know if Speedball liked Brass Monkey. I think he said once that someone just used it and he kept going with it, which is a very Speedball thing to say. Somebody did this for me and I just kept it going.
A wrestler should use the chicken dance as their theme song.
I'm pretty sure the Gobbledygooker did that.
Well, good. Bring him back.
They tried. Did you see our friend Cher Delaware was trying to find out who played Doink in 2020 at Money in the Bank?
Yeah, Adam Pearce knew, but he won't give up the information.
I'm 98% sure that it was Ryan Callahan, one of the writers. I'm 98% sure. Excuse me. Try not to cough my brains out, but here I am coughing my brains out.
You're struggling here, Joel.
Something's going on back here. I got to get checked out. It's a talking thing. It's because I spend my weeks talking. And I didn't get Tuesday off this week because I worked with Zarian. I did Beyond the Bell. Zarian got me sick.
Blaming Andrew Zarian.
He got me sick. He's too busy doing his own gimmick.
Blaming Andrew Zarian.
It's not our thing, but I don't know. You're talking about observing fame. Do you care at all?
No, I just thought it was a funny little headline. I couldn't tell you who actually got in.
Well, apparently the Young Bucks got in, so the people are
good for them.
feelings about that. Yeah, exactly. I can tell you I don't care, because for the same reasons that people don't care about the WWE Hall of Fame, there's no physical Hall of Fame. There's no physical Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. So I ain't going to visit it. I don't care.
I guess it's a nice little honor and everything. Yeah. Like, good on them. I don't know who votes. I see some people on my timeline who are like, oh, submitted my observer ballot. Like, cool. I cannot tell you who is actually in the Observer Hall of Fame. Like, I'm sure there are some obvious ones that, like, I'm sure Steve Austin and The Rock are in this thing. But like, they couldn't tell you if certain people are or aren't. And it's, it's good. Dave, when it comes to historical work, is very good. I'm not going to knock him when it comes to that kind of stuff. So the Observer Hall of Fame has a purpose. It has a place. So, it seems like it's a big day for other people, and other people will care about it. And then for people like me, I'll see who made it. I'm sure it'll come across my feed at some point, and then I'll be like, all right, good for them. And then I will go back to watching Cobra Kai.
There you go. Yeah, Pollock and Thurston did a whole thing about the Observer last week on their show. Go check that out. It's good stuff. SmackDown tonight?
Allegedly.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Don't get it wrong, R-Truth. Don't tell them you're in Green Bay. Women's tag match. Women's championship match. Nia Jax takes on Naomi.
Do you know who might be there, Joel? Do you know who's famous from Milwaukee?
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. The MVP of the NBA. I'm not making this up. For AEW Rampage, ladies and gentlemen, the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He might be there. He might be there tonight. LA Knight was at the Bucks game the other night. He was shooting T-shirts out of the cannon and everything.
Good for him.
We could see the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. There.
You just
can confirm the Bucks do not have a game tonight. So
are they traveling though? Are they coming from somewhere or going somewhere?
Let's see if they got a game tomorrow. They play Charlotte. They play Charlotte tomorrow. It's an early game, so it's very possible like they're already in Charlotte for overnight. But Giannis can do what he wants. Like, what's the team gonna do? They suck without him. They're not gonna tell. If he wants to go to wrestling, he's gonna go to wrestling. They're not gonna be like, hey, Giannis, you got a really important game against the Hornets. Giannis, like, no, WWE's in town, brother.
They gave me a title belt. I can't turn them down.
I don't know if WWE gave him a title. AEW gave him a title.
I know AEW did. I'm saying he's going to reply. Oh, they gave me a title. I can't turn this down.
I assume WWE sent him one when they won the championship a couple of years ago, because they sent everybody.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I'm sure he paraded around with it and we didn't see.
I probably did an article on it.
True. Nia Jax and Naomi for the women's championship. Looking forward to this. Naomi's going to lose.
Is she?
I mean, it'd be very funny if she wins and then has to go to, a taped Raw with the title, but not having the title.
I still think that Tiffany Stratton needs to cash in on that women's U.S. title tonight. I assume we're going to learn more about the women's U.S. title, but we should still have Tiffany Stratton cashing in and just taking that thing tonight.
It should be Nick Aldis sitting at his desk, looking for his Danish. You're like, where's my Danish? Somebody get me my Danish. And then he's looking at his notes and he looks away for a second. Tiffany Stratton goes yoink, but she's actually yoinking the U.S. championship. And then she leaves the briefcase there. And Nick Aldis is like, I don't care. I'm not starting the show until I get my women's U.S. championship back. And then in the background, you hear toodles. And there's no Danish. The Danish was just a red herring.
Tiffany Stratton seizes the WWE Women's United States Championship.
That's the headline. Oh, God.
Oh, that's good. She opens the briefcase and the title's in there. Oh, I like that.
I feel like we've done this before for other reasons. Let's do it again. Tag team titles are on the line. Motor City Machine Guns take on Street Profits. Is this the turn for the Street Profits, or is this the beginning of the DIY full turn? What are we doing here?
They got a couple ways this thing could go, right? It didn't feel like Motor City's going to lose. They just won the title 2 weeks ago. So I don't see them like losing the titles. Maybe it's 3 weeks ago at this point. So yeah, it doesn't feel like they're going to lose the titles at this point. Yeah, I think this could be the turn tonight. I don't know if Dawkins turns on Montez or Montez turns on Dawkins, but they got to do something with the Street Profits. They can't just lose and all right, well, gee golly, we lost again, guys. Let's try to rebuild and go from there. Like the way they're talking, it's like this is kind of like our last stand type of thing. Like this is all or nothing for us. It's got to happen now. It's been 4 years since we've had these titles. These other teams have come in, they've surpassed us. We got to get it together here and win these titles. And if they don't get it together and win, something's got to change. What changes? Do you think that the change is just
the friends we made along the way?
No.
Sorry.
I think the change is just like they do a big old beat down. And so like it's more of a solidified heel stuff than an actual turn.
That's what I was going to come back with when you finished. And yeah, it does feel that way because both of them have said that they're frustrated for whatever reasons in media. And it feels like it was leading to the Profits turning as a team, not on each other. They are a unified front. They've always been that way. They haven't really teased dissension like they have with DIY. So for me, it's Dawkins and Tez go heel together.
Okay, here's what they do. They turn heel. They go to Raw. They align with Judgment Day. Street Trash. We're bringing it all back around. Street Trash is back, baby. The Profits, but they're not the Profits anymore. With the Judgment Day, but they're not the Judgment Day anymore. It is Street Trash.
Let's go. I'm for it. I'm for it. Let's do it. Anyway, that's all that's announced for SmackDown. I assume Cody will be there. I'm sure.
Yeah, Cody's like sad and stuff, right?
Allegedly.
Well, his friend got his neck broken.
Oh, he got his neck hurt. Wasn't really broken.
Well, I mean, all right. Yeah, Cody. I hope they show Cody like in the hospital just like crying. I think that'd be funny.
My best friend. Allegedly, KO and Cody are on the docket for Saturday night's main event, so we'll see if that plays out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a big main event match.
Do you think the Usos go to Cody to try to get him as part of the War Games team? Because, you know, they got to ask just various people to make it go for a fifth.
It'd be very funny if they like ask LA Knight and he's like, yeah. And they're like, really? And he's like, no. And he walks away.
Yeah, Cody should just be Cody should be in the hospital, like crying, drinking his Wheatley. He's like, can't believe you would do this to you, Randy. What do you think Wheatley and tears mixed together tastes like?
Terramana.
Breaking news. I might be on the verge of acquiring Terramana.
Let's go. We're back, baby. Now you got to find the Zoa to hit it back with.
We'll see about the Zoa, but I might be on the verge of acquiring the Terramana.
Very much looking forward to that. That'll be that's a half-hour show right there.
Yeah, that'll be Monday's show, hopefully.
Yeah, could have been last Monday's show. Anyway,
well, I didn't get it in time. What do you want me to do?
Travel back in time.
Nah. Well, we're watching Major League, not Time Cop anymore.
Right. We got to watch Major League. Which one do you think he watches? All three?
Nah, nobody watches the third Major League, right?
I'm sure people do. I am being told no Zoa and Terramana from the anonymous ITW general manager.
Yeah, but like, what does she know?
Yeah, that's right. What does she know? Remember, those are words that came from not my mouth and from my co-host's mouth. So deal with that accordingly, not with me. You can talk to him about that statement.
She can't control me. I'm not part of her system.
You threw her on the ground. No, you didn't. No, we don't do that here. She made you a cake and you threw it on the ground.
Happy birthday to the ground.
You can't buy me hot dog, man.
That's the greatest song in the world.
Easily. God, we're such dorks.
The absolute greatest song in the world.
Nothing else has been announced for SmackDown, by the way. It's just those 2 matches.
Well, other stuff will happen, right?
Allegedly, I just don't know for sure.
I think Kevin should beat up Cody and Randy at the hospital. We ain't had a good like hospital brawl in a while, right? Like, let's do that again.
Why is fake Carmelo Hayes on Blue Sky?
Why?
I don't know. I just got followed by Carmelo Hayes, and the first message.
He's mad at that ROH question you asked him.
Still, he keeps a grudge. He's like, I don't know who to follow on here, so I'm just following random people when I search up WWE. This ain't a miss because Melo don't miss. I'm like, search up WWE. I don't have any references to WWE in my.
That's not
profile.
true. You 100% have a WWE reference.
I don't.
You've tweeted about WWE.
Oh, tweet? I've probably no. Actually, you know what? I don't think no. The tweet, yes, but this is Blue Sky. I don't think I've messaged about them.
You've posted about WWE in the Blue Sky.
I don't know about that. Do you remember he drove from and played me nothing but Lonely Island? It was torment. It's point A to point B. I wasn't gonna dox you.
I was like, what are you talking about? And then yeah. So I forgot where we'd gone.
You took a trip. You took a long car trip.
Yeah. And on the way back, I just played Lonely Island songs because she didn't know any of the songs. She's like, "What is Lonely Island?" Like, you've heard some of this stuff. So first you play like Lazy Sunday and everything. Like, yeah, easy one to get in there. Captain Jack Sparrow, one of my favorites. But then you start playing the song like The Mother Lover, which was a pretty big song at the time. Dick in a Box.
Dick in a Box. Got to do that one.
Yeah.
It's not gay if it's in a 3-way.
Yeah. You start just playing, the stuff that people haven't heard of as familiar. The ones that weren't like SNL digitals, stuff like that. Start playing those, and then you start getting into some weird shit that they would do.
It was also the cocaine one. I don't know why, but today's gonna be a great day. I should spend some time with my kids. You ever see this one?
Oh, I'm sure I've heard that one, but it's not one that I like familiar.
It's more SNL. It's more SNL. Okay. And Roy Rules is always my favorite one. Roy Rules.
I like Shy Ronnie with Rihanna.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, speak up. Oh God, this is what our show has become because there's no more wrestling to talk about.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
This is a good one.
Cry at Deborah's desk. To take a shit. Oh man.
You know what? Like legitimately, like I love. It's from the Pop Star album, Humble. I'm so humble. Oh, it's so good. It's hilarious, as like most of them are.
Oh, I just had Sex is a good one.
Yeah, everyone,
yeah. And On a Boat, everyone knows.
I want you to fuck me like we fucked Bin Laden. That's from the Pop Star album.
Yeah.
As well.
I Ran was a really good one. I Ran So Far Away. You got to watch the actual video for it because it was really funny. They had I forgot who they had playing Ahmadinejad. Hey, you got to watch it.
So yeah, we like sports. That's a good one. Basketball, hockey.
Oh my gosh! All right, have we run this well dry? The reason why we're not talking about TNA is because they're going into a WrestleCade special, and they haven't turned Nick Nemeth yet.
Is that what they're gonna do?
They're playing this game where Nemeth is like, all these matches he has, he's like, oh, I wanted to put my title on the line, but Santino said no. But nobody ever follows up with Santino to see if he actually said no. They're just taking Nemeth at his word. And I'm like, somebody call up Santino and be like, did you say no? Because I'm pretty sure you're going to find out that Nemeth is just being an underhanded piece of shit. But JBL is going to be at WrestleCade. So like, let's just get this over with. Team up Nemeth and JBL, and
they're already a team, aren't they?
They are, but I mean, like, just officially as heels, team them up. Santana and Casey Navarro had a fantastic match. That's the one thing I will shout out from the show. Casey Navarro's fantastic. We know how we feel about Santana on this show. They had a really good one. It's the opening contest. So really you can watch the first match of the show and you could duck out of there. 6-man between Northern Armory and Gresham, Macklin, and Eric Young was also really good. Gresham had a really, really strong showing in that match. There's some stuff. There's some stuff, but they're going into the Turning Point show. There's not much really to think about or to talk about. I don't even know if we're going to do a post show for it because I don't know if I want to get on at 11 o'clock on a Friday night to talk about one title changing hands, and that's the Knockouts tag titles. So that's it.
Wow. Joel running from the grind as usual.
Joel uninterested in staying up late for this when he gets up at 6 o'clock every morning.
Running from the grind.
Anyway, we've come sufficiently this far. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I feel like we're missing something.
It always feels like we're missing something, but then we just don't do it. Did the SmackDown preview.
Allegedly.
Talked about AEW.
Allegedly.
Did TNA for 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was a waste of time.
That was a waste of time, but we got it out of the way. What do you want to talk about MLW? Do you want to do production for MLW?
No, that's I feel like that's your gig that you can do.
I hear they have an opening now. I should probably go ahead and apply.
Do they?
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
I don't hear a lot of things, but no.
Dave Marquez is out. Dave Marquez is out from MLW.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He's as quickly as he came in, he's out.
Oh, all right. Well, they've had some issues these past couple of shows, so shout
out to the GPW guys. They should have never had to leave. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, they follow me. I like them. They're nice. They're nice
me
to
too.
me.
They're also very good at their jobs. They are very talented and very good. So
we can talk about this. This is a very important question from Alexa Bliss Gamer. She haven't gotten the SpongeBob meal yet. So I've not gotten the meal because apparently they don't make the meal anymore. Or at least at the Wendy's that the wife went to. The wife was very kind yesterday. She ran out. She came back. She surprised me with the Wendy's SpongeBob Krabby Patty. She's like, yeah, ask for the meal. And they're like, we don't do the meal anymore. And they even apparently, like, they were unsure if they even did the burger anymore. I was like, why wouldn't you do the burger? Like, all right, fine. You don't do the kelp shake and you don't have that is in your system anymore. But like the ingredients, you didn't discontinue these ingredients that you were doing for it. So I did get the burger. And I got to say, it was not bad. I'm not a big, I like my burgers pretty plain. Cheese, bacon. If I'm doing like North Carolina style, then, you throw some barbecue on there. You throw some onion straws, things like that. Like fried onion straws, onion rings. That's good North Carolina barbecue burger. Otherwise, I don't like a lot of stuff on my burger. I don't like lettuce, tomato, like non-fried onions. Like, I don't like that kind of stuff. So that's what this has, and it's got the pickles. Don't forget the pickles. And it's got the secret sauce as well. But it wasn't bad. Yeah, would I have it again if it was available? Maybe. But I would rather stick with my I go there and I get the what do they call that thing? The Baconator. Yeah, the Baconator. Yeah.
Wait, is that actually what you get?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's hilarious. I love it.
The Baconator is great. I like Wendy's is like probably my favorite, like of all the burger fast food places. Like Wendy's is probably my favorite. Oh, the Baconator, that hits the spot. Baconator on the pretzel bun too. Ooh.
Okay.
I'll eat those every day of the week. Wouldn't be good for me. I'd probably die of a heart attack pretty soon.
You would.
But
Yes, you would.
I would still eat them every week.
I'm still a big.
Send me nerd clusters, everybody. Nerd gummy clusters. Everyone, just send me this stuff. I'm not above begging for these.
That's true. And send me more of those Reese's half-pound cups.
No, you take 2 years to eat them, so no.
Yeah, I need more. And I need more.
Yeah, King Potato's got it. Baconator's goated. Yeah, Baconator rules, man.
How does King Potato's girlfriend feel about the Baconator, though? You watch our show, may as well bring her in on this too. Are you a Five Guys fan? You like Five Guys?
It's been a long time since I've had Five Guys. Like, I don't think it's
I know.
bad, but like, it is whatever.
That's fair. That's fair. Carl's Jr. used to be good. They had 3 of them here in Toronto, and then they all got shut down because the owner the franchisee did something he wasn't supposed to, and they got them all revoked. But Carl's Jr. was good. I had Carl's Jr. in New Zealand. That was an experience.
Not doing a rock bit. I don't think I've ever had In-N-Out. Like, if I have, I can't recall it. So it was a long time ago, or just it wasn't memorable.
Sense, though. You're not a big traveler, so
it's a West Coast thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You probably don't frequent those states.
Yeah, so I don't think I've ever had In-N-Out. It's not like I'm gonna travel to go for it, but yeah, everyone. So I went to the Dollar Tree yesterday to get some candy because it's pretty cheap. But I got the nerd. Yeah, I got the nerd gummy clusters. I got some Milky Way for the wife, and I got some other treats for the kids. And like, we're checking out, and the lady at the cash register, and it's just, that's all I bought. Just went to Dollar Tree to buy candy, looking like a friggin' glutton over here. The lady at the cash register was just like, "Oh, you got some good stuff here." And then she like specifically points out, like, holds up the bag of nerd gummy clusters. She's like, "This is the good stuff right here." Like, I'm doing a drug deal out here. Like, yeah, this shit right here, this Kryptonite right here. That's a Cat Williams bit.
Yeah. I think anyone who goes to a dollar store is going to buy a lot of shit. I'm the same way. Get some Ringolos. Get yourself a thing of teddy bear cookies. Come on. What are we doing? Yeah. They're like cookies? Yeah, they're like graham cracker cookies, but you can get chocolate chip version. They may buy like cheap ass ones like Biscuit or something, and they're like $1.25 for a bag. Yeah, but they taste good, so who am I to care?
You get the nerd gummy clusters, man. Me and Shaza McKenzie, we're gonna start our own corporation of just nerd gummies. I'm
not a big candy guy. That's the thing. Once in a while, sure, but like I prefer chocolate over candy or chips if I'm gonna, snack on something.
I'd have nothing but these things. Like, I gotta like stop myself, because like if I open it, they'll be gone in about 2 seconds. So yesterday, like, I bought them, and then like they just sat there for a couple hours. So I'm like, nope, self-control. And then finally, once I open it, it's just immediately gone. I ain't trying to save them at all. Just they're gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I've tried.
Sour Patch Kids, legit. I do enjoy the Sour Patch Kids. Swedish Fish. It's been a while since I had the Swedish Fish, but like back in the day, I used to really go through those things.
My wife likes gummy worms and Coke bottles, but they got to be the dollar store ones because she, quote, likes the plastic taste of them. She doesn't like the ones that taste like actual like jelly. She likes the ones that like have the snap to them. And I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. I guess they're like a step above gum. Because you got to chew for longer.
I've had gum in so long. I used to, like, I'm not a gum person anymore. I used to be kind of a gum person, not anymore.
When I'm at shows, I'll chew gum. If I'm doing interviews, I'll chew gum until I have to, be on camera. But otherwise, I do the Excel mints because those are good. They're little mints in a package, and they're strong as well. I call them sneezy mints because every time I take one, I inevitably have to sneeze. Because there's like a level of...
This sounds terrible.
Well, it's not like a bad sneeze. It's like there's just a level of like spiciness that comes to it. But yeah, where do we send the candy, Jeremy?
I'm not going to give out my address on the...
Dox yourself. Dox yourself. Jules follows us and promotes our stuff on Blue Sky. So you can reach out to Jeremy through that.
Yeah. Just send me nerd gummy clusters. That's all I want.
You need a PO box for this stuff.
I probably do, but doesn't it cost money? I don't feel like paying for that.
Yeah, it's a monthly subscription for most places. Or you can piggyback off someone else if you know someone who has one.
I don't know anybody.
That's fair. You don't.
I'll get them sent to like the next store. The wife even said, "Do we need a PO box for your candy?" Maybe, I guess so. If people are just going to start sending me a bunch of candy, then yes, apparently we do need. I do need a PO box for candy. I don't know how many people are gonna send me a bunch of candy, but I'm open to just send me all the candy. Only nerd gummy clusters and Reese's, so I can,
This is the right answer, by the way. I have an Amazon wish list as well. That's where you want to put it.
Okay. Do they have? I assume they sell nerd gummy clusters on it. You think they got like big cartons of these things?
I don't know about that. Amazon sometimes has weird stuff, but
hold on,
nerd gummy clusters. Oh, both.
They do. Yeah, I want family size. Hell yeah. Oh, limited time grape strawberry blitz.
My Amazon wish list is like half troll and half stuff I want.
Mine's just gonna be nerd gummy clusters. Oh, Nerds assorted gummy clusters, 1 pound, individually wrapped. It's like
I can get rid of some stuff on my wish list. There are definitely things I can get rid of. So let's start with these AirPods. I have those now.
Wait, what are these? These are Halloween spooky ones?
Don't need that. We'll keep that. I want these Halloween half-pound cups stuffed with Reese's Pieces, chocolate peanut butter bar, holiday candy. That's what I want.
All right, I'm gonna do an Amazon wish list, and it's nothing but nerd gummy clusters. We're gonna be a nerd gummy cluster review channel moving forward. Who could possibly care about wrestling? They got a lot. I didn't realize how many variety they had, because the only ones I've had are the rainbow ones. That's the only ones they sell around here, and I think they sell the berry ones, but they got frosty flavor, spooky flavor. Again, these individually wrapped. They got different stuff.
Tell you what, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post my Amazon wish list on my Blue Sky for the ICW listeners who need a laugh. There we go, and you can see all the weird stuff that I've put on my wish list. The answer may shock you.
Everyone buy me nerd gummy clusters. That's the lesson of the show.
Oh dear. You people are threatening to do it.
I don't know how to create a wish list.
I'll run you through it.
The other problem with the wish list is I'm Colt Cabana-ing out here, and I share an Amazon account with my mom. So.
Well, you can set up the wish list to have it go to your house, but it doesn't have your mom's it won't have anyone's info when you do it.
Okay, yeah, I don't need stuff getting sent to my mom's house, because we got Prime and we just share a Prime account. We don't both pay for Prime for it. That's stupid.
Yeah, no, we're the same way. We share our Prime with there are other addresses there that my family takes advantage of.
Yeah, sorry to see him, Punk.
I'm not. We'll see him soon enough. Maybe at the pay-per-view or something. Anyway.
Yeah, so the wife is saying, I thought we were on account. Well, she's familyed in. Oh.
Yeah, I get it. It's fine. It's good. Listen, it'll all be fruitful eventually for everyone. For some, it'll be nerdy. For some, it'll be gummy. For some, it'll be clustery.
All right. I'm going to create a list.
You're going to
nerd gummies. That's the list.
It's just
all I want.
Over and over again.
Yeah. How do I add stuff, Joel?
You go to the thing you want. It's too sensible. Oh yeah, I should have Fight Forever on there.
Yeah, Switch version.
Wait, hold on. AEW Fight Forever. I'm gonna rectify this right away, and this way I can show Jeremy how to do it. So, AEW Fight. Wow, really? $27.50 for the Switch version.
Ooh, do I have to click it?
Okay, if you click onto to the product you want.
Yeah, I've done that.
There's an option under the price where the buying options are.
Add to list.
Add to wish list. Yeah. There we go. I just added it to my list.
But hold on, it got sent to.
Yeah, you gotta put it to the right list.
Oh, okay. Nerd
Fight
Gummies
Forever
list
is now on my list.
All right, I've added to the Nerd Gummies. Just gonna keep adding Nerd Gummies on this list. Does it get removed if someone buys it for you?
So you can have it so that it does get removed.
Oh my god! I just want everybody to buy me shit.
Fair. These you can have it so that it doesn't get removed after you get the amount that you want.
I don't want it removed at all, Joel.
Wow.
I want everyone to just keep buying me nerd gummy clusters.
Relax. All right, then my half-pound cups are back. Needs 7 has 6. Yeah, you can edit comments and quantities and things like that. And
I don't want to do any of that. I just want people to buy me nerd gummy clusters.
Yeah, all you have to do is just put down needs 100 and you have 6. And that way, if people are going to get you 100, then good on you. I don't even know there's an infinite option.
Oh, there's one of these is like, there's like a bunch of like different options. I don't know. I'm just going to put it on there and then we'll see what happens, I guess.
Hey, everyone, let's speedrun Jeremy's diabetes.
Who cares?
Oh, God.
And the words of the immortal Mike Tyson, we're all going to fucking die. We're all going to be dust. I don't want anybody to talk about me when I'm dead. Let me die how I want. And I'm dying through nerd gummy clusters.
Randomly, Ryan. Randomly. All right. Get your wish lists in order. Post them on your socials. Let people be nice. It's the holiday season just about. So maybe everyone's feeling like they want to give. And if you do, great. If you don't, it's all good too. Jeremy, anything you want to plug before we get on out of here?
No.
Go buy Jeremy gummy clusters. Go watch wrestling. Don't care if you do. Don't care if you will. But we'll be back on Monday to do that and to talk about nerd gummy clusters and other candies, I'm sure. For Jeremy Lambert, I am Joel Pearl. You look like you're about to say something. Oh, we got to do the
Mana, the final boss. And here we go. This is how good. The final. God damn, that's good shit.
Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. God damn, that's good shit. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.